Today's video is sponsored by OneFootball, available now on the Apple App Store and the Android Play Store. Get all the latest news, fixtures, videos, scores, stats, and key dates for your favorite football teams from around the globe. It's free to download, and of course the link is in the description. If you love football, if you love the game, download the app today. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're checking out some more PES 2020 gameplay, and we're having a look at a little bit of CPU action. So we've got Palmeiras playing as the computer, and Flamingo is going to be played, I believe, by Robbie here with the live stream that was shown yesterday. Now, I don't believe this is on Superstar or even Top Player. I think it might be on regular. Possibly. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. If you know the official difficulty, let me know, but I don't think they showed it during this stream. So you're not going to get a full gist of how Superstar is. Obviously, it's far superior than playing on the likes of regular or even professional, but we can still get a bit of a gist of how the AI plays and check out a couple of other things in a better quality video. This is 1080p, 60 FPS. I mean, it's still not the crispest gameplay you're ever going to get from a direct feed, but it's the best we have right now. So playing at a new stadium, or a stadium that hasn't been shown. They come out the tunnel, they're up the steps, and Palmeiras playing as the green, of course, and Flamingo in the red and the black. And I have to say, after watching some of these streams, it is starting to grow on me. I mean, there are niggles, yes, there's still problems in the game that we've seen before from PES 2019, but considering this is an early build, it's promising. It is rather promising. I'm loving the pace, first of all, and I would say to Konami, please do not start cranking the tempo of this game up the closer we get to launch. We don't want it. You know, the majority want a good, realistic pace. And I know it might get a little bit quicker, and the reason being because the animations become smoother. You know, it does make the game a little faster, but right now, this is a really good speed. It's a nice tempo. You get to possess the ball. You get to play football, which ultimately is the aim of the name of the game. And that's what you want in a football title. I don't want to be playing FIFA-esque gameplay, otherwise I buy FIFA. I want to play PES, you know, when we used to play back in the day, PES 5, 6 and all that. Yes, PES 2013 was a fantastic game back in its day. And that's the thing as well. A lot of people say, oh, it's not PES 2013 or PES 5 and 6. No, of course it isn't. This is technically better than those games. I mean, you can't really compare a 7-year-old game to nowadays. It didn't have the jostle system it has now. This is actually a nice opening, as you can see there. He missed the target. So for those saying that you never missed the frame, you never missed the goal, prime example. I don't know if this player's left-footed or not, but he got it out of his feet. He smashed at it, and you know, he just slices it wide. So there are things that you're going to see. Players missing the target. You're playing with lower-rated teams here. We're not playing with Barca and the Legends side, which is nice to see. I got sick and tired of seeing the same teams over and over again, and I think they show a couple of faces here. We'll quickly skim through this, otherwise we'll be here all day. But as I was saying, you know, this isn't PES 13. You can't compare it to a game that's that old now, because this has things that PES 13 didn't have. Now, of course, PES 13 probably had better dribbling from the CPU. Maybe the defending was better, and they can work on that. But when it comes to the physicality and the animations and the jostling, PES 13 didn't have that. It was literally, what was it? How many directions could you go in? 8 different directions? And that was about it. So, yeah, let me just get that out of the way right now. I did enjoy 13, but I do feel like we are in a stage now where these games are far superior to what we used to play. We just kind of have that mindset that it was really enjoyable back in the day, and those were the best of the best. So here's a couple of faces. They look great. One thing they did state, though, which is a little bit disappointing, is the fact that PES 2019 faces, all the updates we've had, all the face packs that have been released, will not necessarily carry over to PES 2020. It's a shame. I don't really know why. They're using the same, you know, engine, and the player models are pretty much the same. How difficult is it to keep the same faces? Maybe there is other things going on, license issues, but I don't really see how it's a problem. But they did state, let's get that out of the way, shall we, that when it comes out, we're not necessarily going to have the same faces that were in 19. Maybe, hopefully, they can work on that, and they can just keep building more and more and more instead of having to sort of redo them every time a new edition of PES comes out. So, of course, let me know your thoughts as well below. You've watched the streams, you've had a look at it. What do you feel? And I've said this before, you have to really, I think, play the game. Let's just fast forward this. We don't really need to see too much of this. I've said this before, that you really have to get your hands on the game to thoroughly enjoy it, I feel, and get a grasp of the new mechanics, the way it plays. I think the dribbling this year is being quite nicely refined. I'm still seeing some clipping. Yes, those things need to be sorted out. Whether they will be is another question. You know, we have the bug from celebrations where the likes of Messi is the same size of Suarez. I mean, how hard is it to fix it? I don't really know. I wouldn't think it's too difficult, but it's still there. One thing I do love, though, I do love the physicality, the way that players now, it's almost like they have a brain and they say, I'm going to try and hold the ball up. Now, check this out here. This was something I put out on Twitter, and people came back and they said, well, it wasn't the CPU making the foul. No. But it wasn't from a sliding challenge. It was from a standing tackle that he got wrong, and he gave away a penalty. Now, would it have been given last year? Maybe, maybe not. But the reason I'm saying this, I mean, you can see there, he did clip the back of his heel. And if we actually do rewind this, let's actually pause it and slow it down for you guys so you can get a good grasp of how this has worked out. So he comes across, as you can see, and he just catches, I think it's his right foot, there, and he stubs him. Now, his foot does go through the turf. Yes, that's an issue. There wasn't any clipping, though, when he initially fouled him, and we actually saw a bit of his underpants there, I think, as well. But last year, you wouldn't necessarily have seen this because, you know, the clipping made it a problem. Now, before we get into it, have a look at this for a penalty. I love the animation of that. Now, there is an issue. The goalie's gone absolutely miles away. No goalie dives that far away from the post. So, Konami, if you see this, please, let's adjust that. You know, we're not Spider-Man here and shooting through the air, or Superman. Make sure the goalie's... I mean, he did look where the ball went. Credit to him. But he just has dived way too far. That is a penalty. Fair enough. This is a nice run-up. Love the animation. But the goalie, he does look at him. Fair enough. But he dives way too far. He should be diving, you know, right about there, if anything. But it's nice that they've worked on the stutter step. It does look far more natural. I don't mind the diving animation. Once again, his arm's gone through the turf. It just seems to be a problem, doesn't it, with PES 19, 18. Actually, I can't remember 18 having as many issues with clipping. I don't know where this has stemmed from. Something in their engine is causing it, you know, to go through the turf. I don't know why. I keep saying I don't know because I don't know. I'm not a programmer. But, you know, fixing those niggles will always be a big positive. But yeah, the penalty was good. It's just the goalies need to be rectified there. Here he goes with the chance, working it forward. Good defensive block there, stuck out a leg. You know, this is on an easier difficulty, so you would expect some chances. Possibly not the best goalkeeping in the world, although I've still seen some good saves. He works it well down the left-hand side. He lays it in, and he completely missed that one. But you'll see the difference as well. If you've watched the Barcelona matches, the legend matches, less error has come into play. When you watch this, it's a slower pace. You can see players take a little bit longer to get it under control. They've got a heavier touch. The finishing always isn't 100% on the target. We did see a long-range belter as well in another video from Batistuta. So, you know, even on playing on regular, the AI are hopefully going to keep shooting from long range. So, here we go. Ball's played through the middle. Back towards Diego. Gabriel. Nice little challenge there. Well played. I wish they would make this a little bit smaller and put it in the corner because it does kind of disrupt the play a little bit. But good physicality there. Wins it back. Starts again with the keeper. And it's just, you know, there is a chance for you to play football. I think that's the key. The AI still needs tweaking. I mean, it always does. Tweak it right up until launch. Make sure, you know, they are closing you down, and they've also tactically are set up correctly. There was a nice little bit of physical jostling. They managed to win it back. But yeah, I think tactically it has to be set up right. If they're going to Konami release this game and put every team playing all-out defense or conservative, this is what's going to happen. The AI are going to sit back and basically invite you to try and break them down. And that's fine. That works when you're winning. But if they're losing, no, we don't want to see that. We want to see the AI closing you down, trying to get a goal, especially in the last 15-20 minutes of a match, or if it's Barcelona, Liverpool, they play a more attacking style. So there's a corner, punched away by the goalie. We're into the final minute of the half. Let's see, misplaced pass there, switch players. This ball's delivered in towards the back post, but not a great ball. And it feels like more natural. It feels like if you don't get it spot on, and I'm sure they're playing on pass support 1, hopefully, or even if this is pass support 2, then great. You're making it difficult to play possession if you try and play sort of ultra tick-attacker, which you can do in PES 2019. You can. If you have the players, you can play tick-attacker all day from back to front, and rarely will you see a pass go astray. Now, we are playing with, as I stated before, lesser teams, but there's a prime example. Let's pause that and actually go back. You can see here. Let's actually put this down. He hits this with the outside of his boot. Okay, and this player, it's just, he's physically not in the right position to even get this pass. He's facing this way. So, he hasn't reacted very quickly, to be fair. Maybe they could work on that. His reactions are a little bit slow. But the misplaced pass, they've given away possession. And it was a little bit sloppy. And now Palmeiras can try and work it forward. But they've given it away. There it is, dispossessed. We'll start again, try and work it through. Little flick with the outside of the boot. I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish they would, and I'm sorry, there's going to be stop and starts in this like I did before. But I don't feel like here, would you play this with the outside of your left peg, or if he's right-footed, would you adjust your body? But that little flick, I don't know. I do see it often, too many times last year, to be fair. It doesn't really look natural. I mean, you want a natural-looking game. That's what you want at the end of the day. There's another flick with the outside of the boot. So that's a smash ball coming forward. The goalie's on the charge here, and, well, fair enough. Just about got it. I've seen a couple of times where the goalie hasn't come out, but that could, once again, be a case of playing on the lower difficulties. No way do we want to see that happening like last year on launch when the goalies were sort of broken and they just would not commit with a 1-on-1. You can't see much here, and that's why I wish they'd make this a little bit smaller. And there is a strike, but that's a horrendous strike. Horrendous. Have a look at it again. The ball's come back to him. Why is it a bad strike? Well, let's have a look, shall we? He gets the ball. He lays it back on the edge of the box. Once again, the outside of the boot. Seeing too much of it. Need to tone that down. But, it's not the best. He should have took a touch. He's trying to hit this first time, and he's almost just fluffed it. And it's gone well wide. So there's another bit of evidence that not every strike, especially with the lower rated players, is going to hit the target. I mean, Flamengo, you're talking average 70s at max, maybe an odd 80, but that's pretty much it. They haven't got the best finishing in the world, and there's a prime example of that. So I'm really digging the camera as well. I think this camera angle also, this is a fact. The further you have a camera angle away, the slower it looks. If you put a camera really close, it's going to look faster. So I always recommend, if you want a slower paced game, then bring the camera out. I think there was a video that showed the camera angle, so here's a chance to see what he can do. Oh, he does lay it back, and he manages to slide it in. Fair enough. There's another goal for you. But yeah, I think there was another video that did show the different camera angles. Here's a new celebration where they come through, a bit of a dab action there. It's quite an interesting, cute celebration. It would be nice if it was kind of varied from time to time. So this was flicked back. Nice little sliding animation. Nothing else he could do. That situation, he does flick it here. Kind of weird with a toe, but, am I nitpicking? Maybe. But we are still seeing, a couple of elements that are going to be in 19, and they're going to be in there. I mean, facts are facts. They only get a year to spend, if even less than that, on these games. You have to remember, Konami is no way near the size of EA's headquarters or the development team. They're just not. Now, we know FIFA has far more game modes than PES will ever have, but PES have concentrated this, you can tell, on dribbling, on animations being refined. sorting out the physicality of the game, which is very, very key. Football is a very physical sport. You know, one of the most physical sports out there in that respect. So you have to have that element. And the Fox engine can only do so much at this point in time. You have to wait till a new engine comes out before we really see the gist of it. And the goalie could have come out there. Oh, what's he playing? Playing around with it there, but the AI managed to not get the ball of him. But I think overall, it's promising. Okay, it's positive. We've got still a lot of time. I just hope, Konami, please don't go ahead and speed the game up. Make it super fast. They're going to obviously polish up the little niggles. The animations will be polished up more, which may make it slightly faster. But overall, I love the speed of the game. I mean, look at that touch right there. It wasn't instinctive. Have a look. You know, this little player here, he gets the ball down, comes across, eyes on the ball. Now, the ball's gone way, way over there. Because of the elevation, he's taken another touch. I mean, he's literally gone from here all the way over there just to get that ball down. Now, if that's someone different at the back, if we're looking at, you know, a PK or Ramos possibly getting the ball under, it might be a little bit quicker. But because of the stats, it does come into play, which is really what PES has always been about stats, about ID for players, and I felt like it's lost that over the last couple of iterations. So if they're focusing on bringing it back, fair play to them. Too much dribbling there, given away. But once again, there we go. A prime example. Let's bring that back just a little bit more. Ball's played up the line. Look at this touch. Tried to drag it. Got it completely wrong. In comes the challenge. I don't know if that's a foul. It was given. But good to see that AI aren't getting the ball 100% down, 100% quickly, and they're just running off with it. That brings into another point. You know, the CPU running with the ball. That is a big thing and a big dilemma I think that people have with the game, is the fact that you don't see it enough. In the real world, if Mbappe's got the ball, if Neymar's got the ball, Messi, Ronaldo, these types of players, they run at you. And they've lost that element. I mean, I think it's gone. We haven't seen it enough. The AI just play passing. Please, Konami, work on that. It will be so nice, you know, to play the likes of Paris Saint-Germain, to play the likes of Barcelona, and have to worry, that was a spectacular effort there, have to worry that Messi, that Mbappe, when they get that ball, is a real threat. And it makes you think, you know, in your mind, okay, we don't want to let him run with it, close him down quickly or back away from him. So it's just something I really want them to work on, and I know other people do. So getting the CPU to run with it, attack you, have their own mindset, is what we want to see. So we're into the final couple of minutes here of this video. I think overall it's been a good game. You know, a slow pace. This is slower. This is far slower than the Barca against Legends, without a shadow of a doubt. I think the ball physics have been pretty good overall, improved. The goalies, fair enough, you've come out. I couldn't really see because of this ridiculous video. It needs to just go in the corner if you're going to show the players. But overall, I am quite impressed. I'm looking forward to playing the demo. It will be announced at the World Finals in a couple of weeks' time, so make sure you tune in for that. But overall, let me know your impressions. This is on an easier difficulty, so it wasn't the best to see the AI playing on Superstar. They gave him a lot of time on the ball. But I love the pace of it. I love the camera. The physicality's there. We've seen shots go wide, but they really do still need to work on, you know, the clipping is there when they dive through the glass, or the glass? What's the glass? The grass. You know, having the CPU run at you, that's what we want to see as well. Have the troublesome mindset of, oh my word, I'm playing Messi, I know what he's going to do. He's going to be a threat, and Suarez is going to make the runs off him, Coutinho, whoever, and you have to worry about that. That's what we want to see. So hopefully they improve that, but I love the physicality as well. It's looking good. It is. And we'll have to keep you know, stay tuned, see how it progresses over the next couple of months. But Konami, please do not change the speed of the game. But until next time, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts below. Subscribe for more, and take care.